Welcome back to the Have Not Room. I'm Ben. I'm joined as always by Chad and Brian here to talk the second to last time probably about Big Brother 22, BB All-Stars 2. Talking about the final four here. We got only a week left until the season is wrapping up, guys. Can you believe it?
Yeah, no, I don't know how we're gonna cover everything that happened in just one episode. It's just been non-stop excitement and scheming, and wow, so good, such a good season. Thank you, contestants.
Non-stop action on the feeds.
Oh god, I forgot that I can watch the feeds about 2 months ago. Around the time where Tyler was gonna quit and did not quit, and then I don't think I've watched a second of feed since.
Yeah, I'd say that, and then the vote almost flipping against Tyler to save Ian are probably the two last things that were interesting that happened on the feeds. So, yeah, it's been over a month at this point since something marginally interesting happened. But we're still here, still going to talk about Memphis's eviction that we expected on Thursday night. And then talk about the Monday night episode and our Final Four HOH, how that all played out. I could talk about Nicole's prolific sneezing attack that she had to endure. Where do you guys want to start?
Dancing.
Enzo
talking to Mulan. There's just so much.
Mulan, dark horse candidate for America's favorite player.
Yeah, coming on strong here at the end.
a real late push.
Remember in BB16 when they let a dog come in because it was so boring? Why not just do that again?
Yeah.
I think for future contestants, if animals, real or inanimate, start becoming like focuses on feeds, that should tell you that the season's not going that interestingly for everyone at home. You should know that they're scraping the bottom of the barrel to find content at that point.
Let's just release 4 dogs in the house labeled 1, 2, and 4. Hopefully one of them plops a load on Nicole's pillow. She doesn't notice. Head right in it. And, that sums up this season for me, man. Just fucking turd in Nicole's face at night. That'd be great.
Oh, man. She's a week away from becoming the greatest Big Brother player of all time, Chad. I don't know what you're talking about.
Don't do it to me, man. I mean, this year's bad enough. I don't want to grace Nicole as the only 2-time winner if that ever happens. Which, somehow her narrow path to victory is working out, and it's very scary as the Cody pick. I don't think she wins it, but, I don't know, man. I'm scared.
Well, I mean, we could talk about it. There's, basically 2 things to talk about. There's, in my opinion, we saw the HOH comp with the night moves, a throwback to the veto in Big Brother 6, where Kaser famously got James Ryan to win that comp so that he could get Cappy evicted that week, which was the I sealed your partner's fate moment, which we saw on Thursday night. Kaser introduced this comp in a little clip thing he somehow was able to film. Not sure how that worked out, but pretty cool. And we got a 3-person version of this competition. What are you guys' thoughts on the night moves?
So it was 6 people originally, right?
It was a veto. There was a veto, yes.
Yeah, so I think it's a lot better when it's 6 people because you can't necessarily see the board as clearly because you can't predict what people are going to do as easily. It was a little unfortunate, too, that we spent a lot of time talking about, maybe Christmas can win. She's good at comps, whatever. And then it really was a competition that you couldn't win if you were, the third of 3 people. So that took a lot of excitement out of it. But I do like the idea that the fact that they brought Kaser back to not host, but introduce a comp, probably fucked with their heads a little bit because they're like, wait, what? Why would Big Brother feel the need to bring him back?
Yeah.
And good for Enzo, man. Fucking beast, right?
Yeah, definitely did not win he definitely won that comp, based off of skill alone, not by default. Because Cody and Christmas were going after each other and blocked themselves into a corner trying to block each other off, and he just kind of took an entire half of the board to himself.
Must be nice.
I mean, look, when the comp was revealed to us on Thursday night, I think we all kind of saw Enzo winning coming for this exact reason, and we were like, okay, Christmas can't win. Like, they're gonna gang up on Christmas, and it's probably gonna end up being Enzo who wins because he's gonna be the one who is like the least, motivated to target aggressively one of the others, and it's definitely a game that favors playing more defensively. So.
Yeah. Oh, but you know what? We did get the positiveness of both Cody and Nicole being unbearably bitchy about Enzo winning the HOH for himself. That was awesome.
Yeah. That's actually a new look for Cody and Nicole. They've not done that at all this season up until this point.
No, never. They're very good about respecting other people playing their own games and not servicing them.
Yeah. Man. Yeah, this is so. All of the sarcasm and annoyance that we have aside, I do want to ask the question. Cody did very deliberately kind of kamikaze himself to make sure that Christmas didn't win this HOH. I want to know if you guys think that was the correct move, because from my perspective, the only scenarios where Cody is in any danger of going home at all are with an Enzo HOH. So, in theory, if he wants to guarantee himself into the final three, he should want himself or Christmas to win, and Enzo would be the priority to prevent. But that, if Christmas were to win the HOH, that would open up a scenario where he's more likely to make the final three, but less likely to then make the final two, because Christmas would be the most likely person to cut him. I want to know what you guys think from a strategic perspective, that as far as how Cody played this. Chad?
I mean, it all comes down to the veto at the end of the day. Because theoretically, obviously, if Nicole or Christmas win, Cody's up there, and how do you not kick Cody out unless it's Nicole? But I think it could go either way. I think he's kind of hedging his bets on Enzo and Nicole taking him, which I don't see them flopping on him. But, I mean, it'd be a hell of a move if they did. I can see why he would want Christmas out and guarantee that Christmas doesn't win, whether it tanks his own game or not. That being said, he's really banking on Nicole and Enzo being loyal, which, I mean, look at this season. They're going to stay with them. But, a couple days later and nothing matters anyway. So it all worked out for him.
Yeah, I guess it really comes down to preference of when he needed to do the must-win comp, because he needs to win 4, veto, or final HOH.
Right.
Obviously, there's still a chance Enzo and Nicole cut them. I think we're all in agreement. Very slim chance that happens, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's hard for me to be like, oh, he should have put it off for another round when the results are that he did win it. It's hard to, try to have that unbiased view. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
Yeah, to not be results oriented about it.
Yeah, exactly. It's tough. I think, while it is the worst case scenario for Final Four, he ended up winning, and I think he probably knew there was a good chance that he was going to win the veto at Final Four. I can't really recall what it is lately, but oftentimes the Final Four will have a lot to do with past events and matching it up, and he is good at that. I feel like he won a comp with that in BU16. I think he won a similar one this season, if I'm not mistaken. But he's he's a smart guy, and I think he kind of was like, all right, well, is there if there's an athletic portion and remembering the days portion, I have a good chance of winning this. And, obviously he did end up winning it. So
And that was the case as well. The Final Four veto was a competition which was about memory and had a physical component. It was like a hamster wheel, like spin it to like line things up sort of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact mechanics of it, but that's the gist. So I after considering it, I do agree that it does come down to like where the must-win comp is. And at the Final Four veto, there's a 3 out of 4 chance that Christmas doesn't win it. Assuming everyone has an equal shot. And at the final 3, there's a 2 out of 3 chance. So the 3 out of 4 is just better than the 2 out of 3 statistically. So I agree.
That's a great way to put it.
Yeah.
I guess we can just take a moment and give some props to him. Like, it's one thing to put yourself in the position to make it to the end if you win a competition, but it's another thing entirely to be as dominant as he has been and to like clutch it out, Like, you gotta give some props there, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, we've like there's been a lot of comparison of Cody's BB22 game to Derek's BB16 game, and he is heading into the final 3 in the Derek spot, where he's the favorite to win the jury vote. He has a good shot of winning the final HOH, and it's likely that both other people would still take him to the end and then lose to him. So it's just, we can talk about whether we think, like, how likely we think it is that either Enzo or Nicole would cut him if they won final HOH, because that's really the only thing left in the game at this point. But I think that both of them are more likely to take him than not, which is surprising given that they're both very strong players and they should be thinking self-interestedly.
Yeah. I just can't see it, honestly. Like, as much as I want that moment, I want that Steve from BB17 moment of like, I'm sorry, Vanessa, I have to do this to happen to Cody, for one of them to step up. They're not self-interested enough this season to do it.
Yeah.
I think Nicole is the more likely of the two to do it, because one, she witnessed firsthand, BB16 this happening to Cody, where he took the guy who's gonna smoke him in final 2 just because he was so loyal to him, which I don't think Cody's making that mistake again, because he can't. Like, he wins this no matter what.
Right?
Enzo,
he is that guy now. He is
he's the guy. So,
that's how you avoid making the mistake. Make yourself the mistake.
What a redemption arc. But I mean, I don't think Enzo has it in him to cut Cody. I think he's just gonna stay loyal to the Jersey boys. I mean, there's a meow meow joke here somewhere, but like, it's just like, let's just wrap this up.
It's been well
established. Going to bed. Yeah, drink your warm milk, go to bed. And Nicole, if she savagely, like we said last week, boots Cody, if she somehow the HOH, and Cody doesn't win veto, it's just gonna be like the most amazing move ever. But I don't know. There's like a 10-15% at most chance she does it. I'd probably even say lower.
Yeah, I just don't think she has it in her. I
don't think so.
I don't think she has the killer instinct that it's necessary to make that move. I don't think in BB18 she probably would have beaten James also, but I don't know if she knew that necessarily. But I still feel like she would have went to the end with James. And yeah, I just don't think she's the type of player who cuts someone at the end. Like, no, like shade. Like, it's just some people have it in them, some people don't.
Yeah, I think the difference in BB18 was that her like final 2, her like ride or die was Corey, who went home at the final 4 because they lost the veto comp. So I think that's like a different situation where she's never really had to been put into the situation where she has to cut the person that she's supposed to be the most loyal to to win herself the game. Chad mentioned it. I mentioned it last week that it would be an incredible move, and it would be hopefully an actually entertaining moment on the show,
Right.
which is probably why it won't happen. I think that it would. I think that either Nicole or Enzo winning the final HOH and cutting Cody and going against the other would win them the game. I think that
easy.
if that's the final two, it's whoever cut Cody wins the game, in my opinion. Whoever wins the final HOH.
Yeah. It's done, yo. It's done.
Yeah. But in the fact that both of them are unlikely to make the move that, in my opinion, wins them $500,000 is kind of a testament to just like how locked down Cody has had this entire season from start to finish, like top to bottom. And I do want Cody to lose the final HOH just so it can be like set in stone that somebody did make the mistake to take him rather than him just having to win his way to the end. I think that will solidify Cody as like a top tier player of all time.
Yeah. I doubt it'll happen. I think he'll probably win final HOH like he did in 16, but you never know. You never know. I also think like this season is just with the BB gods being like, don't ever fucking ask me for an all-star season again. This is what you fucking get.
Yeah.
for fake theories every off season and all that shit. Like, and I think, message received, BB gods. We won't ask anymore. Just give us newbies every season who hopefully are more determined.
We'll talk around BB35 if we ever hit it.
Yeah. Oh, man. And yeah, I don't necessarily have much more to add. There's not much else we can say. Christmas, you tried. Sucks to suck. Cody, congratulations. Maybe when we next convene after the finale, we'll have something interesting to talk about. But other than that, I got nothing, guys. What do you have? I feel like it's a downer, but
no, there's not much.
I mean, congratulations, Chad. I think the week from now will probably be crowning your winner pick, the winner of BB22. So
let's go.
It'll be a nice thing for the show, the Have Not Room, to be like, see, we know what we're talking about. One of us picked the winner. So was it obvious? Maybe, but it still had to happen. And it did. So
winner, America's favorite player, pretty good pick. Like, I mean,
you give a little bit of credit there, Kevin. That's fine.
Look, he looked good going in.
Yeah,
but BB22 just.
I just don't think we expected him to not be the Kevin from BB11. Like, this was older, much watered down, not as fun from what I've heard, version of him. Headband game, strong. Always coming out with like awesome headbands.
Headband-animable.
Yep. Yeah. It's so. That shouldn't be forgotten. He won a veto. One of the few times the Majority Alliance did not win a veto.
And one of the other few times it was used on him.
Yeah. So that we have that at least, Ben. Our picks have used vetoes to mess up plans, I guess, and that's about it.
Delay them a week.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
I mean, in fairness, they weren't even targeting Kevin. Now that I think about it, like that was just blocking Kaser from potentially saying and ruin more plans. I guess
I got nothing, but I mean, let's say Christmas goes here. I mean, where do we put her as a player? Like, average at best? Maybe above. I mean, replacement would put her well above average, but
I think she's a solid player. Like, she is in a very bad spot. Not good enough at the game to be a threat to get out early, but not good enough at the game to win once you get far into it. I think that's fair. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think she's like above replacement level player. I think that, she definitely could have won BB19 if she didn't like basically actively throw away at the final 3 to let Paul and Josh be the final 2. Like the jury was perfectly willing to vote for her over both Josh and Paul. So if she wins that final HOH and doesn't throw it because she basically it was very incapable of winning it most likely due to her foot, or if she doesn't tell Josh that it's okay for him to cut her, then she could easily have won that season. And this season, there was a path. She would have definitely had a tough time with a jury. But if she's the one, if she wins this final 4 veto and cuts Cody, and she wins the final 3 HOH, I think she definitely has a narrative to win against somebody like Nicole or even Enzo. So
yeah, that's true. That's true.
And I think that she had an endgame. I think that of these 4, I guess of the 3 that aren't Cody, she's definitely the one who's played this endgame the most self-interested. Enzo showed a blip of that with his play in this Final 4 HOH competition, but I don't think he's going to show it when it actually will matter in terms of cutting Cody at the final 3. Whereas Christmas was 100% willing to get Cody out. Granted, she never had a final 2 with Cody like Nicole and Enzo did, but so it's going to be obviously easier for her to make that move. But she definitely was the one in this endgame who saw the pieces where they were pretty effectively. And there was a path for her. She got close-ish to winning 2 seasons back-to-back. So, is she good TV? Not particularly. Is she, a really, likable, fun character that you want to root for? No.
Also, no. Big no.
Is she what I would consider an above-average player that could probably improve with maybe some, more game knowledge or maybe slightly better social manipulation skills? Yeah, I think that she's definitely somebody who could have slipped into a win.
Yeah. All right. I mean, hey, that's fair enough. I guess I have one more question for you guys, and this is I never do this, but this is for the audience too, if you want to chime in. Bigger disappointment, Janelle losing to Tyler in that HOH, or Kaser not being able to pull out the revenge HOH after Janelle got evicted?
Ooh. I mean, if you're asking us too, I think Kaser with the revenge.
Mm-hmm.
I agree.
That would have been
epic. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it would have delayed Kaser's, stay another week at best. But it
would have just been so fun.
That would have been great. I would
just him in that HOH room and people having to come to him to make deals. Oh, it would have been
just a kick in the nads to the.
I think also that would have been a really good historical swapping of the as we talked about the time in BB6 and 7, Janelle won the HOH right after Kaser was evicted. So
yeah.
And
I think it was worse too, because we saw the HOH play out for Janelle and we saw her lose, but we saw Kaser destroy the first round of that HOH, and then we had to wait hours to find out that Enzo won the HOH. That was a tough one. But yeah, so I guess we all agree Kaser would have been better. Not great that this is what we're talking about heading into a finale, but this is where we're at, and I think this is where all the other fans are at as well. I've definitely seen sorry, Chad, you say?
No, I think that's the moment where BB22 just went phew, when Kaser lost that. I was like, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's the tipping
no
point.
return. Yep.
Yeah. If he wins, maybe there's a chance he disrupts things. Maybe he gets the alliance going. But, I mean, that's all maybes to begin with. So, what can you do?
And I've definitely seen as the season go on, no one on Twitter talking about this season anymore. My Twitter timeline was 100% Big Brother at one point, and I didn't unfollow anybody or anything. It's just everyone's moved on. Yeah.
It was good at the beginning. Really. The first couple weeks, I was like, this is awesome. This is great. We have a good podcast going. Now we're just trudging along.
Yeah.
What the hell happened, man?
There's just so much potential.
Yeah,
Oh,
potential. Like coming in, we were saying in our cast preview, the word of the day was potential, because everybody in the cast had this great potential to blossom and become a better player. And that's kind of the story of the season, where the season had so much potential coming in, and definitely did not live up to much, if not any of that potential.
It was a great house design. I'll give them that. I really liked the house
yeah.
this season. Looked great.
Best house to date.
I think obviously another disappointing thing of like having this happen during COVID was just like we could have had so many former house guests hosting comps, interact. You know, we could have had so much more. Where we just didn't have that. We probably could have had a battle back at some point.
Oh, we would have for sure.
Like,
I wish they did this like next year.
yeah,
If they did this like a year or two, like maybe like BB22, I'd be willing to wait for like a good All Stars. But what can you do? At least we had it. You know, we asked for it, we got it, and we hated it. So whatever.
It's the exact be careful what you wish for. Yeah, Uncle
you win, like, BB gods.
Oh man! All right, well I'm ready to get out of here. You guys good?
Yeah.
I don't have any more hypotheticals to throw out there.
I think we squeezed way more than we should have out of what should have been probably a 10-minute podcast at most.
That's what you get out of the Have Not room. I mean, we do our best here.
Yeah, we go hard. We're trying.
Yeah.
It's just this is what we're stuck with.
We'll talk more about this season than anyone should be willing to listen about.
Absolutely. All right. Ben, where can they find you online?
You can find me on all major social medias at Ben Sharon with 2 R's.
Chad, how about you?
Find me on Instagram at ChadleyJP and on Twitter at ChadPerry25. Should be right here. I don't tweet about Big Brother anymore, but feel free to join me for some memes.
It's fair enough. Yeah, you can follow me on Twitter. I also don't really tweet about Big Brother anymore. I tweet about Pokemon and about Tua for the Dolphins. That's pretty much exclusively what's happening in my feed these days. You can follow me on Instagram at SuperMarbro. Follow the channel at Wicked Good Everything, youtube.com/WickedGoodEverything. We have a new video that just came out talking about gender reveal parties. Should check that out. If you are somehow not sick of hearing my voice at this point. And you can follow the channel on Instagram at Wicked Good Everything, on Twitter at WG Everything, and on Twitch at twitch.tv/Wicked Good Everything. Ben and I, we have some big plans for Twitch. It's coming. It's coming soon. So you're definitely going to want to check that out. And we will see you in the next one where we talk about probably Cody winning Big Brother. Maybe not, but probably Cody winning Big Brother.